Alright, so Linda, how long have you been an Edge member?
Oh, in all honesty, probably about 3 or 4 months.
Wow, she's new to Edge.
It's also exciting.
What brought you into the Edge?
I think I've been a follower of yours, Darren, for quite some time, and then I watched things about Lady and the Champs, and then it just really led me to the other members, and then it led me to Champions Edge, and because I'd already decided that this was a group of people that I wanted to follow, it was really a given.
Cool. And what do you get out of the Edge? What does it do for Linda?
What does it do for me? It constantly inspires me to keep going and just constantly improve what I'm doing, giving me a lot of the skills and tools that I need. But it's just that boost and that inspiration of a lot of passionate people that keeps you going. Because sometimes as a reasonably new speaker, sometimes you sort of hit the wall and think, but Champions Edge is just the thing that keeps me going.
Perfect. And you recommend it to others?
I recommend it to anybody that actually takes speaking seriously.
One of the interesting challenges off stage, if Cheyenne was here or if I was going back tomorrow, she'd be processing everything for me. But I try to get things done immediately just to make sure credit cards run and things like that. The challenge is deciphering handwriting. Sometimes I make the mistake of not double checking standing there at the table, but it's part of the reason I do stage times and get their email address is so I can have something to compare to after the fact. But the biggest challenge here in New Zealand, the people are great, the scenery is great, it's beautiful. The internet, oh my gosh, it's like the third world country here. I'm uploading a simple file, it's a bigger file, 1.67 gig, and it says 8 hours to upload. I don't know if you can read that, but 8 hours. And then when I'm uploading to YouTube, nothing is happening. That's been my challenge here, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it done and we'll have fun. This is the Waipuna Conference Center, and this is where the NSA New Zealand Auckland Chapter meets. Pretty cool surroundings. Beautiful lake. Wow. The room key. Third hotel in 3 days. First time I've had to go to the front desk to get a new room key because I left it in the room. There's my room key. To make sure you don't leave your lights on, they have this so it automatically shuts the lights off of the room. Save electricity. That's great. But often I'm sure it means, just like me, an extra trip to the front desk.
For free, you should look into Freeview at these resets.
6 hours to go. Every time I go on these trips, it's educational. And I'm learning what a flat white is. Explain a flat white to a mere American.
A flat white is a coffee, and it's the only, well, one of the only sorts of coffees. It's a small bit of coffee with quite a lot of milk, and the milk's a little bit frothy. It's very nice, very creamy. Then you can have a long black, which is black coffee and very strong, or a short black, which is black coffee and very strong, and espressos and cappuccinos and macchiatos.
I'm familiar with some of those, but a flat white or a long black, it's very different.
This is the beverage.
This is a flat white.
Yeah, it's flat. It's very flat. See how flat?
Why is it flat?
It's flat because I made it flat. It can't be curly.
You're very good at that, aren't you, David?
But at the moment it's flat. It's like the river here.
Like the river.
It's flat, it's retreating.
Ooh.
Like my airline. As you get older, it retreats.
Yeah,
recedes.
I'm way ahead of you,
It's receding,
my friend.
see? So the tide's receding, but it's quite pleasant and calm. So welcome to New Zealand.
Thank you.
And
I'm reconnecting with Robyn Pearce from New Zealand, and she asked me to tell Patricia and Ed Tate to send her love. So I thought instead I will let her say it.
Hi, you guys. How are you? Ed, thanks for your email. Here I am talking to your buddy. And all the best. I gather you're his roommate at this point in time. And Fripp, how are you, my darling? It's really nice to be hearing about you. So all's going well here. Lots of love.
And Craig, you're going to love this. I'm here with Linda Guri. Do I say that right?
No.
Not even close.
No.
What is it?
Wiry.
Whatever. Just kidding. Just kidding. Guiry. Linda Guiry, one of our newer Edge members. And we're having lunch, and she pulls out your book. And look at all the Post-it notes and everything in that, Craig. Oh my gosh, she's a sponge. Your word is spreading around the world, even in New Zealand. Don't say Australia, they hate that. This is how a traditional NSA New Zealand chapter meeting starts. That whoever's first here gets a seat at the table, and then more and more just come, and they chat long before the meeting starts. So,
The only time we get to chat sometimes.
just a word of warning, if you go to New Zealand and they try to teach you to shout the table, that means you're paying. So don't shout the table. They almost got me. This guy right here.
Well, you just had to come early enough, Yvonne, and that's all the
This is John, the Auckland Chapter President. John, thank you for having me here. It's a delight to meet you.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, Darren. Thank you very much.
They're so
Coming all
polite
this way.
here. It's my honor. My honor. I love NSA and it's changed my business, so I love giving back. Really love this. Look at all the people you got.
Oh, this will be a fantastic evening, and we're really, really looking forward to having you tonight. Thank you very much for coming all this way.
Items which are necessary. So I'd like just to start by introducing John.
Started a little bit too early. In all three occasions where you actually started, you seemed to be just 1 or 2 seconds. Well, the very first time you came out, so let me ask you a question. Come up here and own the place first. Right? Pause. Who here's a parent?
I spent many years in international sport, and exactly the way Darren coaches is the same way you get to the top in sport. He uses the same principles that international sportsmen use, and he takes it and uses his own examples and his own life stories to coach you to get you to the top of your profession, which is speaking. Thank you very much, Darren. That was a wonderful evening. I learned so much.
I saw Darren LaCroix tonight at the National Speakers Association of New Zealand, and wow, he was awesome. He got me so inspired, and he just made me realize I've been cruising. I thought that I was a good speaker. I was a bit arrogant, but man, he told me all of these things I could improve, and I am so excited to go out and do it. Thank you, Darren.
Hi Darren, it's Kay Hammond here. I just went to your speaking seminar. Fantastic. I really enjoyed what you told me. I didn't know what I didn't know, and now I know. I had other plans this evening, but when I found out you were speaking, I cancelled them and I drove across town, and I am so glad I did. Get in your car, go, go, go.
Made a classic mistake today. You saw me joking earlier about the frothy, white, flat coffee. I had 2 of those, and then I had a cup of tea after. Was just enjoying the moment. It was beautiful being out on the deck outside, the sun beaming down. Well, I wasn't paying attention to what I do, and I always teach people, be careful what you do and the foods that you consume up until you present. And didn't listen to my own advice today, and I was literally shaking. Caffeine and I don't get along very well together. I had to actually have a glass of water and turn my back to the audience when a video was playing because I was shaking so much. So I made the mistake. Remember, don't do what I do. Just be aware of what you do because it does affect you. And you also have to know your own body and how it affects things. So big mistake, but I survived, dealt with it, and had a blast. Great people, very appreciative. I need to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning to do a AM Toastmasters meeting, and then going to do another one tomorrow night before I head off to Gold Coast.